Hello guys, I will show you today a small functionality that we released recently. They are called evaluators, and there are actually four of them. So you can always find them if you are adding them from scratch in the object library. So we'll be talking about evaluator Boolean, number, text, and group. I will show you each of them in an example. So in this case, the first evaluator is called number. Now, every evaluator is basically expecting some inputs from some game objects, and then he can do some output or some action if the action is either true or false. So in first case, it's a number. So in this case, this evaluator is basically expecting a number with an operator equals. It starts with value 0 and it's expecting target value 1, which means that when he will be receiving values, as long as he will receive value number 1, he will do the action, which in this case is triggered for showing different buttons. Now, which object is feeding it? In this case, it's this dress up makeover. So what it does in this event section, you can see that the evaluator number is incrementing the value of evaluator number, which means that every time new value, new click happens, it's adding one and another one and another one. And as long as the value will be one, which will be after first click, the button will be shown. Just to try it out, so I will pick one object, and as you can see, with the 1 second delay, the button was shown because the evaluator received a value number 1. If I will put this to number 4, it will be waiting for 4 actions. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 second delay, and the button shows up. So this is how the evaluator number works. You can experiment with different values, with different, if it's larger than 1, larger and equal, smaller, smaller and equal, and stuff like that, and then trigger different actions if this condition is true. Now the second example is evaluator group. In this case, this one is not expecting any number or text, but this one is expecting either and or something will happen. So in this case, I have added 5 items. All of them initial value are off or disabled. And as you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images that user needs to like sort in the colors. And what it does, that each of these blue, red, green, and green, they have an event where evaluator group slot number 2, in this case, it will be triggered as on. So what this means, that whenever last point is reached, so when the blue ball will reach this blue item, it will fill the slot number 2 as on. And in this evaluator group, it will do basically this. And since I have AND operator, when all 5 of them will be turned on, an event will happen. In this case, it's starting new scene, scene, that is second in a way. So in this case, the red one has the similar thing. So this one is filling slot number 1, and so on and so forth. So if I now play the game, after I will reach all 5 evaluators, the next scene is triggered by the evaluator group because all of these five were turned on successfully. Now the rest of the two, Boolean and text. So the text is a pretty simple one. It's awaiting a text. You will write which text it should be the triggering one. In this case, it's X and Y. Case sensitive, yes or not. And again, it will trigger something. And in this case, we set it up for triggering CTA. And our keyboard here is triggering this evaluator. So change text to evaluator text. And what it does is that if I will write X and Y, as you can see, story arrow clicked because keyboard has written X and Y, send it to evaluator text, which the condition was met. It received X and Y, meaning it triggered the action on true CTA. You can do the opposite. You can do on false. So if I will if I will not write xy, it will trigger some different actions, and so on and so forth. And the last one is the Boolean. It just has the target value yes. Let me just show you here. So there are three buttons, as you can see, even though they are empty, and each of them is sending a value true or false. So if I click this first button, it's sending value false. The second button is sending value true, and the third button is sending value false. What it does is that if I click false, it's no, no, and this one is a yes. How it was done, it's basically because this Boolean was awaiting target value, and it was changing the property. So if true, meaning this button in the middle, it changes this lorem ipsum text to yes. If false, meaning clicking on one or first or the third one, it's changing the text to no. And by this, you can basically modify different events. So again, triggering this button, clicking this button triggers Boolean event false, and false event is sending text no. Same here, and this one is actually triggering yes. So that's it. It's not super easy, but as long as you will see it in some working template, then you will see under the hood how it operates. You will be then able to uh, think about and create some interesting scenarios and interesting conditions with it. Thank you, and see you later. Bye bye.